In the modern NBA, the name of the game is pace and space, and above all else, shooting. The three-point shot has completely revolutionized the way the NBA game is played, and the top stars in the league epitomize that long-range mindset. However, there's a curious development emerging, a moment from the distant past, when big, hulking, bruising power forwards roamed the landscape. 3 left-handed power forwards have dominated this year without relying on the three-point shot as their primary weapon. While Julius Randle and Domantas Sabonis do shoot a few threes, it's not the major component of their game, and with Zion and Williamson, we haven't seen a guy be this unstoppable inside without shooting threes at all since Karl Malone. So, let's look at how these throwbacks have been getting it done, and if this will get us back to playing more like they did back in the 90s. For most of the NBA's existence, we've had lefties who could dominate in ways righties couldn't. Guys who only went left, but somehow managed to have their way with the defenses anyway. And this crop of all-stars is no different. Zion Williamson is the unicorn who not only has the body to bang down low and clear guys out, but the incredible explosion into the air that is typically reserved for the Michael Jordans of the league. They all use the post-up often, but in very distinctly different ways. The best part of Zion's postgame, in my opinion, is his ability to attack on the catch. Before the defense even has a chance to react, he's ripping and driving and getting good position near the rim, where it's over the second he put the basketball down on the floor. By not giving the defense a chance to rotate and help, he can use his immense frame to create space and his incredible body control to spin back to that left-hand finish before anybody can do anything to stop it. He shoots almost 8 free throws a game, as these types of attacks leave the defense with no other choice, considering his somewhat low free throw percentage at 71%. The attack on the catch gets him going to the hoop so quickly that it doesn't even matter if the help gets there. Watch how he goes off 2 feet in rhythm with a split-foot stance, allowing him power but the ability to glide past the defense and still finish softly. And the Pelicans are great at finding him in early offense, as he can duck into the front of the rim, especially if he catches a mismatch. He's going to his left, everyone knows it, and it just doesn't matter. While Zion attacks right in the catch most of the time, Julius Randle is the opposite, turning his post-ups into multi-dribble ISOs where he can take his time and size up the defense before making his move. What you'll also notice is that most of Randle's post-ups are shot in the mid-range, utilizing his jump shot in all manner of face-up jumper or quick duck-in that gets him close to the hoop to start, but turns into fadeaways over his left shoulder. He'll dribble the ball up himself right into the spot up on the left block, especially when he has a weight advantage on his defender, initiate the contact, then fade back over that left shoulder for another jumper. Every so often he'll use a spin to the baseline, but he's much more earthbound than Zion, getting this ball just over the rim and down through the net. Sabonis is the biggest throwback of them all, preferring to just batter his opponent into submission before going almost exclusively with the left-hand finish. Even when he faces up, it's not for a graceful display of footwork and dribbling wizardry. He simply wants to get his shoulder colliding with your chest, knock you back a few feet before spinning or hooking into a soft finish at the rim. He's perfectly built for this style, and the Pacers' offense gives him plenty of opportunities each game to get the ball on the block and up into the basket. Even a nice fadeaway jumpers contain an element of violence first, as he initiates contact into the chest before finding a nice touch with that lefty release. I often wonder if being left-handed gives these guys an added advantage, considering how few NBA lefties there are. And I imagine it's the same kind of advantage you get from using Manscaped, for unparalleled ball freshness that will guarantee the proper balls get swatted away while yours stay protected. Now, I gotta admit, for the longest time, I just used their Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof, rechargeable, and has an LED light to see the places where the sun don't shine. But recently, I started using all the products in their performance package, and it's been a revelation. The Crop Reviver is an uplifting experience. The Weed Whacker works so well, I have to hide it from the rest of my family, and you can keep your toenails in order with their luxury 6-piece stainless steel nail kit. I'm so in love with all their products, I'll throw in 2 free gifts just for you. Get the performance package and I'll throw in their Shed travel bag and Manscaped anti-chafing boxer briefs. I wear them and I have no chafe. I freshened up so much, Manscaped gave me my very own link on their website. So make me look good by clicking on that link, get a great deal, and you'll be feeling as good and as fresh as Zion does when he puts all his balls through all those hoops, which will eventually lead to him leading the league in scoring. One reason for that is because of how easy it is for him to get buckets. At least twice a game, Zion cuts to the hoop behind the defense for lobs, usually from Lonzo Ball, and it's remarkable in that there is virtually nothing the defense can do to stop it. The offense does a good job of getting him on the weak side with some sort of ball screen or post-up action happening on the strong side before just lofting it up and letting him take care of the rest. It was crazy to me how often he'd get free without a body on him on that weak side, and when he jumps this well, you don't even have to be accurate in the lob passes. There's a reason why Zion shoots 62% from the field, folks, and this is it. They also utilize a pick and roll to drag his man into help position and then curl him to the basket around the roll man for easy finishes off the drive. Like we showed in the post, Randle utilizes the jump shot a lot more than the other two, and based on how his career started, it might be the most surprising thing about the evolution of his game. He is an elite shooter from behind the arc now and is the most modern of the three players. The offense generates threes out of the pick and roll, where the second ball screener dives, taking Randle's man with him, and the easy pass back gets him all the time in the world to let it fly. Like we showed with Zion, the Knicks offense also gets him on the weak side of the pick and roll, where they lure help one pass away, and that's all the space he needs to catch and shoot this one against the Hawks. The Knicks like to run this set where Randle sets the pin down into a handoff for Reggie Bullock. Notice how Nerlens Noel's roll to the hoop forces Randle's man to bump down, opening up the drive and pull up fadeaway from the free throw line. That same set has a progression where Noel can fake the handoff to Bullock, hit Randle directly, and the threat of the three allows him to bull his way right to the basket, using his body to keep Capella away from the block shot. The Pacers use Sabonis as a roll man most often, and I really dig this set. Watch how Sabonis pin downs for Brogdon, who gets the ball before handing it right back to McConnell as Sabonis turns around and sets the step-up screen. There's a ton of space to roll to the hoop, and he draws free throws on the shot. The only problem with Sabonis as a roll man is that he's not great at it. Of the 40 players in the league who have used at least 40 roll man possessions, he ranks 32nd in efficiency. When he can't get a body into a guy and neutralize the jumping advantage of the defense, he has trouble finishing. Where being the roll man works best for him is exclusively on the right wing, setting the step-up screen so the guard is using him towards the baseline. This allows him to attack middle with his dominant left hand, with plenty of opportunities to get those wide shoulders colliding with the defense before laying the ball up and in. Both Randle and Sabonis also contribute in the passing department at over 5.5 assists per game, with Randle often leading the fast break before either finding cutters for shots at the rim or kicking it out for open looks from behind the arc. This is really helpful to the Knicks offense as he allows the guards to get down court and spot up while he pushes it himself, and he's remarkably even in terms of assisting for both threes and twos. Sabonis generates a lot more three-point shots from his assists, and a lot come from the gravity he commands on the short roll, where he'll then pivot and make the easy pass to the open shooter. He also has developed great chemistry on the handoff to Doug McDermott, and these types of plays can generate all types of shots from every distance on the floor, leading to a career high in scoring for Dougie McBuckets. Zion creates tons of threes for the offense based on the pressure he can put on the defense as they fear his attacks in the basket and collapse multiple defenders over and over. He's shown the ability to find the open shooters in rhythm, and although he's only averaging a little more than 3 assists per game, over the last 10 games, when he's had the ball in his hands a little bit more, he's averaging 4.5 assists. The Pelicans are also very average in three-point frequency and percentage, so they'd be wise to increase Zion's on-ball possessions knowing they're either getting a great shot from him in close or an open shot from beyond the arc. At one point, around 5 years ago, I had thought this kind of player would have gone extinct, the way of Kenneth Faried. But instead, these three have found themselves dominating in close combat with their ability to handle the ball, overpower defenders with their physicality, and in the case of Randle and Sabonis, stretch the defense ever so much with a three-point jumper. But it's Zion Williamson who will eclipse them all in box score production, and maybe, one day, even add the three-point shot to his arsenal. But until that day arrives, let's just enjoy these throwbacks to an earlier time when men were men and they didn't mind mixing it up amongst the trees.